Stoic philosophers once wrote, "When you arise in the morning, think of what a privilege it is to be alive, to breathe, to think, to enjoy, to love." That right there, my friends, that's the baseline. And let me tell you something, most of us wake up completely on autopilot. We roll out of bed and immediately fall straight into chaos. Notifications, noise, mental clutter. We're reacting before we've even returned to ourselves. And here's the truth. If you don't direct your attention first thing in the morning, the world will do it for you. See, Carl Jung once said, "Until you make the unconscious conscious, it will direct your life, and you will call it fate." If you wake up and let your mind run wild, stressing about work, people, problems, you're not living. You're just surviving. But here's the thing, those quiet seconds between sleep and action, that's where your mind is most vulnerable. That's where it's most open. And what you feed it in that moment, it either strengthens your core or lets chaos in. If you're constantly waking up, stressed, overwhelmed, you're not alone. But you do have a choice, and that's where Stoicism enters. Not as some dusty old philosophy, but as a daily tool. The Stoics believed that how you begin your day is how you train your soul. They knew that if you don't anchor your mind first thing in the morning, the world will anchor it for you. And trust me, the world has its own agenda. So if you're tired of starting your mornings already behind, if you're ready to stop letting yesterday's problems or tomorrow's anxiety own today, I've got something powerful to share with you. 5 simple phrases, daily truths, you can speak to yourself that will change everything. They don't take more than a minute or two. But the shift they cause, it's deep, it's personal, it's powerful. These aren't complicated techniques that require hours of meditation. They're simple words that carry ancient wisdom. Words that thousands of years of philosophers have tested and refined. Marcus Aurelius wrote in his private journal, "Words meant only for himself," about the power of morning rituals. Seneca wrote letters explaining how the start of your day shapes the rest of it. Epictetus taught students that the first thoughts they have determine everything that follows. And if what we're building here resonates with you, if it helps you pause, reflect, and move through life with a little more clarity, consider being part of this. A subscription means more than just support. It's a signal that you value growth that lasts. So let's begin. Affirmation number 1, I'm grateful to be here. You know, gratitude isn't just a feel-good attitude. It's a weapon against entitlement and against anxiety. It brings you out of your head and into the moment. See, most people roll out of bed and fall straight into autopilot. Notifications, noise, mental clutter. They're reacting before they have even returned to themselves. But gratitude interrupts that pattern. It anchors you before the storm begins. And let's be honest, most of us forget how rare and fragile life really is. We complain, we compare, we coast. But one unexpected event, a diagnosis, an accident, a loss, can flip your entire world. When you truly understand that nothing is guaranteed, gratitude becomes less of a morning ritual and more of a mindset for survival. I want you to think about someone who had everything yesterday and lost it all today. Maybe you know someone like this. Maybe you've been this someone. Life can flip in an instant. Your health, your relationships, your stability. All of it is fragile, and recognizing that fragility isn't about fear. It's about depth. It's about recognizing the gift of simply being here, right now. So when you wake up, take 3 deep breaths. That's all. Slow, steady, present. Place your hand on your heart if you need to reconnect with your body, and say it, I'm grateful to be here. Not to perform, not to impress, just to be. Socrates once said, "The unexamined life is not worth living." But maybe part of that examination isn't just about asking deep questions. Maybe it's about practicing deep presence. You don't need a fancy journal or some perfect meditation routine. You need one clean thought. This is enough. This moment is enough. And from that seed of enoughness, you grow into a person who doesn't need chaos to feel alive. You start approaching your day with a quieter kind of strength, the kind rooted in stillness, not speed. There's a big difference between starting the day from pressure and starting it from purpose. One feels like drowning. The other feels like clarity. And that shift begins with intention. When you wake up with gratitude, you stop chasing peace all day because you've already started with it. Think of it like tuning your inner frequency. When you're tuned into appreciation, the things that usually irritate you, traffic, interruptions, delays, they lose their grip because you're not reacting from lack, you're responding from wholeness. Now, psychology has shown that gratitude practices rewire the brain for more long-term well-being. Studies from Harvard and Berkeley confirm that people who practice daily gratitude consistently report higher levels of optimism, better sleep, and even stronger immune systems. Not because life is easier for them, but because their focus is different. Where others see problems, they see chances. Where others rush, they pause. Plato said a grateful mind is a great mind, which eventually attracts to itself great things. That's not some mystical promise. It's basic cause and effect. When you're centered, your decisions are better. When you're appreciative, you attract people who operate from that same energy. When you're grounded, you're less likely to be manipulated, distracted, or derailed. You don't just show up differently, you attract differently. Before your day gets hijacked by obligations and overwhelm, own those first few seconds, not with pressure, not with a plan, but with presence. I'm grateful to be here. Say it, feel it. Let it soften your breath and widen your perspective. That phrase may seem small, but it holds the power to recalibrate your entire system. Because gratitude isn't passive. It's powerful. It's how you take control before the world gets a chance to. Tomorrow morning, before the noise, before the rush, say it with me. I'm grateful to be here. That's your reset. Affirmation number 2. Yesterday doesn't own me. You ever notice how some people wake up already tired? Not because they didn't sleep, but because they never really let go of yesterday. Their minds kept spinning, replaying everything that didn't go right. And whether they know it or not, they're dragging all of that into a brand new day. It's like trying to run a race while carrying yesterday's suitcase. Eventually, you're going to trip. Let's be real. We carry way too much weight from the day before. The awkward conversation, the missed deadline, the dumb mistake, the rejection, the criticism, the judgment, and sometimes it's not even just our own stuff. We carry other people's moods, judgments, and expectations too. We let that shadow of what was follow us straight into what could be. But here's something most people forget. You're not meant to relive yesterday. You're meant to learn from it, then leave it where it belongs. That's the real test. Not perfection, but release. The Stoics had a practice called evening review. Before bed, they would examine their day and then consciously let it go. They understood that you can't move forward while dragging yesterday's baggage. Think about it for a moment. How much mental real estate do you give to yesterday's events? How much of today's energy do you spend on conversations that already happened or decisions that are already made? And here's the harder question. What is that costing you? Costing you in sleep, in peace, in the ability to be present with the people who matter now. Not yesterday, not tomorrow. Now. So remind yourself every morning, yesterday doesn't own me. Say it like your peace depends on it, because it does. That one sentence might not erase the past, but it separates you from it. It draws a boundary between what happened and what you're choosing now. And that boundary, that's freedom. Carl Jung once said, "I am not what happened to me. I am what I choose to become." That line is gold because what happened yesterday might explain your pain, but it doesn't get to define your path. You get to decide what story you're telling yourself today. The Stoics believe that what matters most isn't the event itself, but how you respond to it. Epictetus said, "It's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters." Yesterday might have been a mess. Okay, but now what? Are you going to live there forever? Or are you going to take what you learned and move forward stronger? Think about it like this. Every day is like a fresh journal page. But if you keep scribbling yesterday's story on today's page, you never get to write anything new. Letting go isn't weakness, it's wisdom. Picture the thoughts you're holding as stones in a backpack. Every morning, close your eyes and imagine taking that backpack off. Literally visualize it sliding off your shoulders. Feel your body relax. Because when you let go, physically and mentally, your nervous system gets the message. We're safe. We're free. We're starting clean. There's something powerful about that physical act of release. Your body remembers. Your nervous system tracks how much you're carrying, and when you intentionally release it, every cell gets a signal. Today is new. Today is separate. Yesterday's weight doesn't belong in this moment. So stop treating every day like it's a continuation of your worst memory. Yesterday had its shot. Today is yours. Say it again with me. Yesterday doesn't own me. That's you choosing healing over hurt. Affirmation number 3, I control my mind. It's easy to feel like life is spinning out of control these days. One moment you're sipping coffee, the next you're drowning in texts, news updates, messages, meetings, and then come the thoughts, fast, noisy, demanding your attention. Before you know it, you're not thinking, you're being thought. You're not acting, you're reacting. It's exhausting, and it's a trap. The Stoics knew that the chaos outside isn't nearly as dangerous as the chaos inside. Marcus Aurelius said, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength." That's the core of all personal power, not in controlling others, but in controlling the only thing you ever really could, your response. Look at your life right now. How much of what you feel is a direct response to external events? And how much of it is actually coming from inside? A thought, a memory, a fear. The mind has this fascinating ability to create entire stories from just a few scraps of information. And most of the time, those stories don't even match reality. You're stressed about work, but are you actually in danger? Are you actually threatened? Or is your mind just creating a worst-case scenario that feels real enough to trigger every alarm system in your body? Before the world wakes up, there's this tiny window of silence, and what you do in that pause sets the tone for everything. So say this to yourself, I control my mind. Say it before your phone, before your tasks. Say it with your whole chest, because the moment you believe that you don't control your thoughts, you become a prisoner of them. Carl Jung wrote, Who looks outside dreams. Who looks inside awakes. Most people go through their day completely outward focused, pulled by noise, comparison, ego, status. But when you shift your gaze inward, even for 60 seconds, you start to wake up. You realize that not every emotion is true. Not every thought deserves your attention. Your mind might be busy, but you don't have to be. Here's something simple. Just sit still. 1 minute. Nothing fancy. No music. No scrolling. Just you and your breath. Inhale slowly. Exhale slower. And as thoughts come, let them pass like clouds. Don't grab onto them. Don't judge them. Just breathe. That space between stimulus and response, that's where your power lives. That's where you remember, I am not my thoughts. I'm the one watching them. Plato believed that the first and greatest victory is to conquer yourself. Not your job, not your schedule, yourself. Every time you catch yourself spiraling, you've got a choice. Will you let your mind drag you, or will you direct it? Will you be the driver or just the passenger? You don't have to answer every call. You don't have to feed every fear. Peace isn't passive. It's a decision. Your mindset isn't something you inherit. It's something you train. Neuroscience tells us that your brain rewires itself based on what you focus on. If you spend all morning reacting, your brain gets better at stress. If you spend all morning in negativity, your brain builds stronger pathways for anxiety. But if you spend your mornings anchoring, practicing stillness, observing without attaching, your brain gets better at calm. You literally train yourself for peace. The more you practice, the more automatic it becomes. The more you sit with discomfort, the more you develop what psychologists call tolerance for the hard thoughts. You stop running from them. You stop trying to control them. You just let them be, and they lose their power. So tomorrow morning, before the emails, before the headlines, sit with yourself. Close your eyes. Inhale calm, exhale chaos, and speak it. I control my mind. Let that be your compass. Because the world might be loud, but you're louder when you choose to be. Affirmation number 4. Kindness is my superpower. There's something magnetic about people who walk into a room and bring calm with them. Their presence just feels grounded. You feel safe around them, and you wonder, how do they do that? The answer isn't fame or money, it's kindness. Real kindness. The kind rooted in inner strength, not weakness. It starts with this daily decision. Kindness is my superpower. Not in a soft, airy way, but in a grounded, practical, stoic way. True kindness takes self-control. It requires discipline. Most people think kindness means being a pushover, letting people walk all over you, not setting boundaries. But that's not kindness. That's just weakness dressed up nicely. Marcus Aurelius said, kindness is invincible if it's sincere. What can even the most malicious person do if you keep treating them with kindness and remain firm? Gentle but not fragile. Spoken but not silent. The strongest person isn't the one who controls others. It's the one who controls themselves. Kindness is a form of self-mastery. When you're operating from that place, you don't react to everyone's energy. You respond with your own. Carl Jung said, knowing your own darkness is the best method for dealing with the darkness of other people. Because we all have that inner storm, the insecurities, the pain, the fear, kindness bridges that gap. When you start your day with that mindset, you'll speak softer. Not because you're weak, but because you don't need to shout. You'll react slower, not because you're indifferent, but because you value peace more than being right. Socrates said, be kind, for everyone you meet is fighting a hard battle. Most of the pain people project has nothing to do with you. It's their own stuff, their own wounds. It's their fear showing up as aggression or criticism. When you operate from that awareness, you don't take things so personally. That rude comment, that's fear. That passive aggression, that's insecurity. That silence, that's pain. Not yours, theirs. And your kindness isn't about fixing their issues. It's about maintaining your peace while they navigate their own darkness. Here's what I want you to do. Tomorrow morning, visualize one kind thing you'll do today. Pick something right now. Maybe it's listening without interrupting. Maybe it's holding the door. Maybe it's a simple thank you. That one act might be the only good thing someone experiences today. And here's the beautiful part. That act doesn't just change them. It changes you. Because kindness isn't about waiting until someone deserves it. It's about choosing who you want to be. It's about honoring yourself by honoring others. So tomorrow morning, pause, center yourself, and remind your mind, kindness is my superpower. Not because you need people to like you, not because you're trying to be seen, but because it's who you choose to be. Because in a world that often feels harsh, your kindness becomes a light. Not a raging fire that burns everything, but a steady flame that warms. A presence that says, I see you, I hear you, you matter. And that, my friend, is a superpower. Affirmation number 5. This moment is all I have, so I will enjoy it. Have you ever blinked and realized an entire week just flew by? 1 minute you're sipping coffee, the next you're buried under notifications and meetings. It's like the day ran away without asking permission. That's modern life for most of us. Fast, loud, demanding. But here's something that cuts through all that noise like a blade. Everything is temporary, and that truth isn't meant to scare you. It's meant to wake you up. The stress, temporary. The pressure, temporary. Even the joy and peace, passing. But that's what makes it precious. The Stoics understood this. They practiced memento mori, a daily reminder of mortality, not to be dark, but to be aware. Not to create fear, but to create gratitude. Because when you realize nothing is guaranteed, you start treating the present moment with more respect. You stop taking it for granted. You start showing up for it. Plato said, time is the moving image of eternity. So much of our time is spent regretting the past or worrying about the future. We rarely just are. But presence is a skill, a discipline you have to train. Carl Jung believed the ability to be in the present moment is a major component of mental wellness. Most of our anxiety lives in the future. Most of our sorrow lives in the past. The present, that's where your feet are. That's where the breath lives. That's where power exists. Think about it. Right now, in this moment, what are you actually experiencing? Not what you're thinking about. Not what you're planning. What are you actually sensing? The chair beneath you, the air in your lungs, the sounds around you. Most of us never check in with that. We're living in our heads while the actual life is happening right here, right now. Say it to yourself. This moment is all I have, so I'm going to enjoy it. Not tomorrow, not later, now. This cup of coffee, this quiet space, this conversation, this breath. Life isn't waiting to start. It's happening right now. And if you're not fully in it, you're missing your life. Presence is power because it brings you back to yourself. Not the version that's performing, not the version that's planning or regretting, just you. Here, Socrates asked, How can you wonder your travels? Do you know good when you carry yourself around with you? If you can't be present, nothing will satisfy you. Not success, not status, not escape. You'll always be looking for the next thing, the next moment, the next experience. But nothing will ever be enough because you're not fully there for any of it. Here's what I've learned. More fulfillment comes from noticing more, not doing more. This moment, this one, is already slipping away quietly. So hold it a little longer. Appreciate it deeper. Feel the weight of it, the texture of it, the reality of it. Remind yourself everything is temporary, so I will enjoy this moment. That mindset doesn't just slow down time. It makes it richer, more meaningful. It makes you richer, more meaningful, because you're not just going through the motions, you're actually living them. As you move through today, carry this truth with you. Peace isn't found in the next moment. It's found in this one, right here, right now, in the pause between tasks, in the breath between thoughts, in the silence between words. That's where transformation happens. That's your power. So there you have it, the 5 things Stoics tell themselves every morning. I'm grateful to be here. Yesterday doesn't own me. I control my mind. Kindness is my superpower. This moment is all I have. These simple phrases, spoken daily, create a transformation that lasts. They don't take more than a minute or two combined, but the shift they cause is deep. It's personal. It's powerful. Because they're not just words. They're anchors. They ground you in reality while lifting you above the chaos. They remind you who you are when the world tries to tell you who you should be. If this spoke to something in you, then you have the power to start every single day with intention. Tomorrow morning, before the phone, before the tasks, remember these 5 affirmations. Remember that how you begin determines how you move through everything else. Transformation doesn't require perfection. It just requires presence. It requires showing up for yourself first, before you show up for anyone else. If this resonates with you, consider hitting that subscribe button. A subscription means you're serious about building a life rooted in stillness, clarity, and wisdom. Thank you for being here. Now go out there and live like you mean it every single day. Because the truth is, this moment was never small. It was everything. You just needed to notice. And you're already noticing. And that, my friend, is the beginning of everything.